Hello and welcome back to Primetime Modelling. Now I hope you're subscribing and liking the videos that I've been doing so far. Now in this video build guide or series, what I'm doing is, as you can see, the Star Trek Vulcan Shuttle Surak. Now this is getting back into my comfort zone, sci-fi being one of my sort of favourite subjects. What I will try and do with this is to try and make this as screen accurate as possible by putting in interior lights, navigation lights, thruster lights, and also light up the engines as well. This also comes with the wallpaper decals, which means that virtually every single part of this ship will have some kind of a decal. So this is going to make that fun to actually do. Now I had one of these back in the day when I was a teenager, and I managed to find up some of the pieces that sort of got damaged over the years, and I'm actually now using these as a practice run or a test bed, if you like, to see how I'm going to actually be putting in the lighting. Now I've also just sort of started here on the top navigation light, but what I will do is you'll probably see me sort of jumping from this to then doing exactly the same onto the new kit. So basically, if I mess this up, I'll know not to do it on the new one. But yes, we'll see how we can get on. For the lighting, I'm using 803 SMDs, which are very tiny. I don't know if you can actually make that out, but they are also very bright. Now I'm using magnet wires, so I can get those into very tight spaces. But if I can put the wire onto the bulb, and there we go. If you can just see that, how small they are. They're nice and bright, which hopefully should give us a scale effect. They won't be overly bright. Depending on how many there will be, might be able to just work it off of a couple of coin batteries. If not, then I shall put some resistors into the wiring and be able to run it off a 9-volt battery, which I should be able to put into the base. Now the one thing I won't be able to do is have the shuttle disengage from the warp sled and still have the lights on in the shuttle. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I can't see how I can actually put a power supply in there so that where it works on a magnetic switch, that when it actually gets taken off the actual sled, that the lights will stay on. If I did that, then I can't find a way, or can't figure out a way at the moment of how to then re-access the battery pack inside when it runs out. So what we'll do is either have this attached permanently to the sled, or I will make up some contacts so that when it actually hits the sled, that the top half will then light up. When you take it off, the lights will go out. Not that bothered, because normally it will actually be on the actual sled on the stand. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get all set up, ready, and then we'll make a start and start building a warp shuttle. Okay, right, we'll start getting all the parts out now. Just starting to mark up the top light, and I'll start to cut that out in a little while. Also start to mark off some of the rear thrusters, ones that I can actually think I can light up. Basically I'm going to have to cut through this, and then once that's all done, I'll then make a hole in there so that the SMD can stick behind that. We'll make up a frosted window to go over the top of that, so that'll give it a nice diffused look. Yeah, oops, so we'll carry on. Like I said, I will be jumping in from that back to this to use as a reference point. But yeah, we'll carry on. Okay, right, well that took a long while. That was incredibly thick plastic inside there, which is actually a little bit thicker than the old one. But yeah, we got there in the end, and that was a fresh blade, so that was a hard going. So what I will do now is I will tidy out all the swarf and make that nice and square, and then we'll come back to start thinking about putting or trying to drill in some of the thruster ports. Okay. Okay, right, so managed to clean the hole, so that's all nice and square. Now I had to take quite a bit out of the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There we go, it's all beveled in. But yeah, seems to be a lot thicker plastic, or at least a harder plastic than what the original was. So yeah, it's another little hurdle that we'll have to go through. But now what I shall do is I'll try and just put in a couple of lights, or holes for the lights, and then we'll hopefully see if they can match up with the decals, and then we'll try and put some more in. Okay. Okay, right. Now we've gone from making a pilot and then a secondary hull to actually now trying to tidy these up and make them into rectangles. There we go, let's pull this back here. If you can make that out. There we go. And I'm having to, again, chop out quite a bit at the back. And just make that out there. But that's so we can actually get a light source to actually directly into the holes. Whether I'll actually put fibre optics or whether I'll squeeze some extra SMDs in there, I don't know yet. But we'll plan that as we go along. I'll now do the other side here, make that into a rectangle, and then we'll come back. Okay, right. Well, we've managed to put some of the rectangles in on the front here. Now, because obviously there's a very small hole, what I've actually done, where I've oversized them a little bit, I've actually, I don't know if you can see this, but I've put actually a little sliver of plastic card in either different thicknesses just to even them out. Once they're dry, we'll get them all nice and filed down, and then we shall carry on and add some more lights, or holes for the lights. Okay. Okay, right, well, it's getting late in the evening. In fact, it's gone past midnight, and I've just about finished sort of roughing out the thruster holes. Some are a little bit large again, but I'll fill those in again with styrene. The side ones there, they look rather neat. Let's get this into focus if we can. There we go. And also on that side, there's a lot of carving out on the inside to actually get these to work properly, but I've sort of tested by putting a couple of SMDs in there, and it's quite bright in there, so that hopefully that should show up the ports as well as the main light. Okay, started on the back as well, just by adding a couple of holes there, and then we'll carry on tomorrow or the next day, which for you will just be in the next segment. Okay. Okay, right, well, it's the next day, and I've had to think about the light and the port, or the thruster port holes being a bit too large. So what I've done is I've covered it with clear styrene, and what I will do before painting is mask out the areas that I actually want to be left, and then do all the painting, and then when they're removed, that'll actually show up the lights where they should be, and it'll also save me from then having to fill them in with canopy glue. The ones on the side are okay, so we'll keep them. So yeah, just thinking about it during the day, seeing what remedy I could use rather than just keep putting styrene back in and then having to reshape. So I think that's going to be the way to go. It's not made much difference on the appearance of the front. It'll all get a bit of a sand down before it's painted, but yeah, so I think that's a quick cure for that. I'll now carry on and do the rear thruster ports holes, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, right, well, after fighting with some very thick plastic, I ended up using my rotary tool to drill the holes out and then elongate them as best I could, and now got our rear thruster ports put in. Okay, now just going to need to sand this down, just make these as neat as possible, and then what we'll do is see if we need to put any more in, and if not, then we'll start contemplating on how to put in the lighting, which will probably be in the next video. So we'll carry on and just get all these cleaned up. Okay, right, so I've just finished giving it a bit of a clean up, and I've just installed 2 SMDs, which you probably can't see from here, but I've got this precariously wired up with just one button battery. But if I can just get it to work, we go. You can see that's plenty bright enough. There's actually a couple of hot spots there, which obviously this will all get light blocked from either the outside or the outside. See if I can get that a bit closer. There we go. Sorry about the flickering, but as let's say it's not all connected up properly. But there we go. And once that's all been light blocked and masked off where the lights need to come out, it should be nice and bright. And as we can see, the everything's coming out of the thruster holes like it should do. So happy days. Right, well, in the next video we'll start thinking about planning the rest of the wiring, how we're going to put some lighting in on the rear of the thrusters, and also a navigational beacon, and then we'll carry on from there. Well, I hope you're liking this these builds, and especially this one now, and we'll see you again soon. Like and subscribe, and go and build a model. Thanks for now. Be good.